Paul Werner, Vision's chairman member. He was assigned by Father to find a camp for workshops, and somehow he found through the real estate that this camp.
I'd like to sell the place, like this place here, right? But for people like Michael and a handful of other people that's like, you know what? We joined here. We fundraised for this thing. We'll die for it. There's no way, and I will yield to that 150% because they're owner. So therefore, that's why God gave us responsibility. Right? And we can only experience freedom when we can't experience freedom without responsibility. But our fallen concept that we inherited from the fall is responsibility, burden, blame, guilt, blame, shame, sacrifice. Not shame, shame. So who built this?
Well, Reverend Frank, yeah. He and some other people did the foundation. I did the carpentry work here. Fantastic.
And I was 20 when I joined, so 40 years ago. Hope we can come back. Wow. You ever been here before? Actually, it's not cold, huh?
Over the fundamental questions of human life and the universe, without arriving at satisfying answers. This is because no one has understood the root principle by nature, God.
When someone dies, you'll feel you miss them. It's not that we should block off that feeling, but essentially, it should be an incredible celebration in someone's life. And if you really lived your life for others, and people show up at your funeral and go, wow, Ken was the man. Look at Ken's epic life. And what is an epic life? When it's not about you. When it's about fulfilling that impersonal dream. The dream that's not personal, that's impersonal. And then your life becomes a monument or an incredible storyboard to what's possible in living and being alive on the planet. I mean, not about, but isn't it funny how much we chase after what's in it for me?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Here we go.
bring out some more. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Hi, Bro. Michael. Sorry. Hi, John.
Hey, Laura, good morning. Thank you very much.
Hey, Robert. Good morning. How you doing? Good. Did you have a good sleep?
It was amazing.
Yeah? I dreamt.
Oh my.
Good dream.
Yeah.
Good dream. Preparing for this summer. Oh, for this summer. So we're putting all the, how do you say? If you build it, they will come. So we're building it. We're building it.
We were just here trying to bring the cabin a little more usable and take care of some of the design issues. I think it was last summer we started doing some of the finish work. A lot of things were here.
Like all
The
this.
structure was already here, but the room was just unfinished, so just added the trim, the floorboards, and some of the repairs, some of the window trim like that. Just to finish it up, so it didn't look unfinished. I mean, it's a work in process, and so a lot of this, and it's still kind of we're not sure exactly how we're going to finish the room yet, but started the framing, and then we're probably going to change that a little bit too, just to create a little side bedroom here. In case, like a visitor's room, if someone needed an extra place to sleep, it provides a little quiet.
Little privacy.
And privacy as well. And so this would be all drywalled, and then the door would come in here. All the wood comes from the property. I mean, that's the nice thing is
This house, the wood comes from the Camp Sunda. Most of the wood. So Juan Carlos.
What?
Juan Carlos built the house. Juan Carlos and Don Francisco.
Wow, beautiful.
Cada pieza de madera llevaba 3 días de trabajo.
Cada pieza.
Cada palo en la esquina.
Like those beams you see there, it took like 3 days of work.
Beauty.
You know.
Why does the mountains look so beautiful? Because of the contrast, right? Peaks and valleys. That's what gives it beauty, right? So if we look at life, it's a kind of way, if we look at life just in a very scientific way. So why is God, like what's happening here more emotionally? It's actually God gets to be part of all this lovemaking everywhere. Right? So why does the wind move? You could say high and low pressure, right? But if you look at it emotionally, it just wants to go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like everything.
So, how many times did you see True Father?
Myself only 2 times.
2 times.
Yeah. 2 times. Back in the 76. Wherever Father used to go, he always wanted to meet members, right?
Yeah.
So regardless of what we were doing, we just stopped doing that and jump in the vans and
Did you ever walk around?
Huh?
Did you walk around here with True Father? Anybody walk?
Yeah, when he did the Holy Ground, Father was walking always. Here's another cabin. There used to be another cabin, see the steps? So if you look, there was another big cabin right here.
This is the steps? This was the steps?
Sometimes the one team stay right here, this cabin. Oh, cabin is gone too.
God is a God of love. And the only way God can experience love is through relationship. Right? So it's like you don't get sick of being with someone you're in love with. It's just that you chose to be there, right? So then everything's within God, and then it separates and then enters what? A relationship. And through that relationship, that's what creates intoxication. Right? Literally intoxication.
It's like a welcome table, ready to tell people, please have a seat, let's chat, and ready to serve.
Too slow, go! Too slow!
I always thought, kind of like what Uncle Jimmy said, I always thought God is a male character. When the aspect of dual characteristics like come in, I always think like, how does that my image change? Because like God is man and female. What does that mean? Is he like that? But the thing is, I guess what I took from that was like.
But think of it, you can answer that question really easily if you think of the flip side. That God wanted when husband and wife come together, to be so consuming, so explosive, and all this quote-unquote addictive nature would have found a place in the sexual relationship between Adam and Eve. Do you know what I mean? All of that passion and all of that, risk it all, and this obsession would all take place where God, and that is how important the blessing is, guys. Why is blessing salvation? Blessing is salvation because that energy can be harnessed and glorify God. Because without the blessing...
This is my wife. That's you?
Japanese?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. She's from the same hometown as you, or
What?
what part of Japan?
Oh, Japan. Near University Tokyo.
You and your wife?
Yeah.
Like when you were first blessed?
Yeah. The first and the last. It's amazing. I joined 74, she joined 75. She born March 28, 1954. I born
I believe that
March.
there is no in between good and evil, and so, but it's tricky, right? Like he said, it's really hard to do the right thing all the time.
Right, and to even know it, right? Yeah, to even distinguish it. What do you guys think about what Kimberly said? Anybody agree? Anybody disagree? That? Yes.
Me of how there's nothing in between, because eventually something is going to lead to a certain destination. So it's going to be decided whether it crosses the line or not. No matter how fine, no matter how manipulated the presentation might be, in terms of somebody has a certain motivation, a corrupt motivation, for example, and then in the end, the destination will decide. It'll reveal whether that's good or
That's true. It's kind of like the destination is the barometer, right?
or the fruit.
Yeah.
And here was the swimming pool?
Yeah, all there. You can see the work right there. Listen to, the life of Jesus, who Father is, what Father's plans in the future, So people are very excited, tears, people crying, wow, this is amazing. Really, yeah, I want to be part of this. How can I be a member? This kind of exciting moments in their lives. So I still remember the echo voices, how they used to be. Tiger Park used to really speak about carp, This is really front of a movement, for Providence, Spoke of so many things back in the 70s, So this is a very, very historical place. There's so many people born in this place. I was just hearing, basically all the city was very well.
Right? But that's like being your word. So people will trust you. And then what you say, then you generate things that happen instead of things that happen affect you. Does that make sense? What is one of the reasons why we have a spiritual community like this? So we hold each other accountable. That is the beauty of this community. For me, I am when I go to church, I never feel I'm sacrificing. Ever. I'm oh my God, I get to be together with Sammy. How awesome. And just by being with him, it holds me accountable. You know what I mean? It becomes graceful, it becomes lovely. And that's why we have this community. No nonprofit, no government, not even like groups of friends. Nobody can do it because why? We share a covenant together. Right? Okay, great.
I think you should.
Honeydew, right? You want these honeydew?
Whammo! Oh my God, this is all the spinach? Great!
Can you get this? No, I got like 6. We have many spinach.
Oh my God, this is our breakfast. This is fantastic.
Want me to cut something? I can cut something.
Here, Alicia, why don't you watch this stuff? And, yeah.
Should I cut it? Slice and then cut it out.
We need to go to McDonald's and we got
I
this.
usually scoop the seeds and then cut, but you know.
Yeah.
We need more people. Here, John.
Hold on.
Guys, let me call it out for you. Okay, on 2. You guys push. Let's push on 2. Okay? Push on 2. I'm going to say 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? All right? And here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. That's heavy, man. And on 2. 1, 2.
Oh, the log just broke.
Oh, it broke there. Okay. Yeah.
So there's all this pressure, responsibility. But what if A, I don't want to, or B, I can't handle it?
Well, it's not a matter of can or can't, it's a matter of will or won't. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Okay, you said all the pressure. Responsibility is not a pressure, right? It's a joy. We really come right. Like maybe you disagree with me, but that's the thing. And I think when we really get down and search our hearts, we want to experience the joy. But how do we experience the joy? By taking responsibility for something.
Yeah.
And if we don't, so it's not a pressure. It's just the opposite.
I think the pressure we feel is when we are running away from responsibility.
Well said.
That's when we feel the pain.
Actually, you know what, Sakazawa? That is exactly right. That's where the pressure comes. That is a really amazing point. That is exactly it. Then the pressure comes because of the way we're related to responsibility.
And then we feel the burden.
Right. It's like what you resist will persist. The more you run, the more pressure there'll be. Right? That's a very powerful point. Yeah. Grab the shoulders and make their shoulders into Swiss cheese.
Oh my God!
We're going to do this side for 20 minutes and the other side for 5. Very strong. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Get in your seats right now. What does it mean to unite your mind and body? What does that mean? I find that is one of the most mystical, or no, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, mysterious, thank you. One of the most mysterious things is what does it actually mean to unite your mind and body? What is that? Go ahead.
To be the word, to be your word? Or?
Right, like to read it, learn it, do it over and over again. Just like a pianist plays the same scales over and over again. It's not a matter of knowing, it's a matter of being. Why does a pianist play scales over and over again? It's because they're being key of G. They're not doing the key of G. How do we take this, leap it out of the book and into our lives? It's all about being in a community and having real friends of faith that hold you accountable. Because you ever notice you get into a loop in your life and do the same things over and over again? Ever experience the loops? Right? You want to do something different, but you're in the loop. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength to ask for help. And that's, again, that's the great thing about being together, okay?
So
All right.
it's very, very wonderful neighbors here. So Francisco cut all this wood for me, you know.
Then how do you so yourself, you don't get supported yourself by anybody, church or by anybody?
No. Actually, when I decided to stay here, the members that I had on my team, they all went in different direction. They all left. I ended up by myself, and at that time, not only without members, also without money, because the disability, the Medicare was cut off for me because of money transaction. So I had no money, not even from the government at that time.
Wow.
But God, it's amazing how God can take care if you take care the work, you know. That is, it's just remarkable. It's not just words, it's a reality, you know. It's a living reality. And I have my phone, for example, is paid by one sister from New York. Monthly she pays my phone bill.
Wow.
Yeah. So she makes sure that I always have a way to communicate. So through my phone I do a lot of witnessing.
Blame, guilt, shame, sacrifice. That's how responsibility lives with us, right? Be responsible. Young responsible. You should be responsible GPA mentor, right? And it's burden, blame, guilt, shame, right? Consider that has nothing to do with responsibility. Consider that it's not. So what is responsibility? Responsibility is a gift from God to then which we give to ourselves to be in charge of our lives and to be the true owners. It's a gift God has given you to take responsibility, to be an owner. That way, you can live in huge prosperity like God wants you to live in. Internal prosperity and external prosperity. That you can amass things, you can take responsibility for things. And be an owner as God is really destining you to be an owner of yourselves, of money, of being entrusted, right? And then you can experience freedom. And when you own, you can then give. You can't give if you don't own, right? You can give. And then if you can give, you can powerfully live and you can be alive.
Oh yeah, he does that. One more?
I didn't think about that,
Hey, at least you're foreign.
His hand in my hand in his mouth.
Have value intrinsically. Does that make sense? Like you, why do you have value? Because you're a child of God. How powerful is that living on the earth, walking down the sidewalk? Like, that's a very abstract thing. This section is very abstract, right? Yes. It's really abstract. But it's so incredibly powerful because a person can walk down a sidewalk depressed or walk down a sidewalk perfect, complete, and whole. Do you know what I mean? Now, it doesn't mean we have nothing to do, we have nothing to grow or anything like that. It just means in terms of your value, you can't, what? You can't diminish it or can't make more of it because everything is awesome, right?
It's all about your perspective.
Yeah. Yes, Robert. Exactly. Exactly. And what is that perspective? This perspective that's available is you are more precious than everything. It's like, Manho's my eldest son. He's over there, right? So when he was born, I loved him 100%. And then my daughter came, and it didn't go 50-50. Right? Mathematically, you would think that, right? You dilute the pool, and then you know. But actually, the way love math works is I love him 100%, and then my daughter came, and I love her 100%. It means that's how God loves you. Some people have more degrees than a thermometer. They've been in school till they're like, for decades. I'm an intellectual. That's my value. Right? And they try to get all this value from all that. Now, we should, of course, in our life look for meaning and look for accomplishment. If you look for all the meaning in the world and you just pray and you're Noah, you're going to drown. Right? If you just pray and look for meaning. You got to build your boat. What's your boat? You got to build, your food and a place to stay. You got to do those things, but in the context of living a life of meaning. So then, I don't have to chase over my value. Why do I love my son Manho? For no reason. There's not a reason that I love him. Right? Isn't that liberating? I don't know about you. For me, I find that is a liberation way to live. I feel liberated personally. If I'm a successful pastor or unsuccessful pastor, hired or fired, praised or ridiculed, to really be our word. Make our promises, keep them. Right? And then you can create an identity that you are, Mariko, you are the daughter of God. It's huge. I mean, do you see how this section can, you can just read by it, and but how huge that is? Imagine what is it like to walk down the sidewalk, being confident about that. Then you don't have to chase, Then you can be successful because you choose to be, not because you want to have value being successful or look a certain way. Right? So that's what's available with original value. That's what, do you see, the DP Forum is to take these words and have them come out and have a new context to live in. That's the difference it makes. Why am I, we're in a beautiful nature. I've locked you in this concrete structure here.
not an indemnity. It's out of love. Indemnity is over when we do it with the heart. The end of indemnity is when you obey God like you obey your parents when you are a child. Amazing. I know all these people who distribute the autobiography all over these houses. And when Father asked about distributing the autobiography a couple of years ago, this family actually paid for the autobiographies that we distribute. Some in Las Vegas, some in Los Angeles, and most of them right here in San Bernardino Mount.
It's a great thing that somebody's taking responsibility for this. Mozumdar is a place where I was born in the summer of 1979 with Tiger Park. But I'd like to ask other families to please help Mozumdar.
Great surprise. Great surprise. You're obviously on the